All right, here to talk about Rafa Varane, who's announced on Instagram and Twitter and various socials his retirement after suffering a knee injury in his first game and only game for Como in Italy. Here with Tom. How's it going, sir?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, doing all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
not retired yet, sadly.
No, no.
No.
Still going. I was really shocked when I saw the news. I mean, I probably shouldn't be too shocked, but
Yeah,
31 just kind of made a move to an exciting project, I guess, in some respects at Como with some very random players like Pepe
yeah,
Reina, Fabregas, the
yeah.
manager. They've got a few other randomers, and I don't know if you through their squad and stuff they've signed, but yeah, it's quite sad as well to see someone so classy and so like just quality, just
Yeah.
yeah, retire so young.
Well, he started early, of course. I mean, he
Yeah.
transferred to Real Madrid at 19 or something. United were interested and couldn't pull a deal off at that time and went and signed Chris Smalling or Phil Jones or both instead, something like that. I can't remember which one it was, which order it went in. So he's played a lot of games, and just the way he talks, he seems to feel like that's taking a real toll on his body. Yeah,
Yeah,
retired early from France duty. It's not like he hasn't kept himself fit. He looked super lean his whole time
yeah,
with United. You know, he's keeping himself going, but he's just suffering all these little injuries, and it seems like this is a bigger knee injury.
yeah. He spoke about I think it was a few months ago about the concussions and the concussions he'd
Yeah,
suffered throughout his career that have obviously like potentially played an impact and are making his injuries worse as well. Like from my experience of watching a lot of NFL, like it does, I think it impacts the cells in a way that when you keep having repeated concussions, the cells can't quite fix themselves. So
mm,
it's not just kind of your brain that suffers the consequences and memory and all that type of thing, but also your body as well. And obviously the brain and the body are linked. So it's kind of, it's really unfortunate that these things happen. But I think it's kind of just such a unspoken about topic in so much of sport. Maybe it's more spoken about in NFL because it's more obvious, but in
mm,
football, it really is like a player suffers a concussion and then most people kind of just never think about it again. Oh yeah, he might
yeah,
miss a match. He came off in the game, but they don't think about the long term effect that might have on players. And with Rafa Varane, that's potentially what happens because what happened. It's been, and as a United fan that season, it was so frustrating. And the last three seasons, it's been so frustrating because he's so good. Just seeing him just not be able to kind of put performances and put matches together because of well, not performances.
yeah.
I feel like almost every single time he played for United, he was excellent. There was so few games where he wasn't good. It was just getting him on the field.
Yeah, true. Good point about the concussion. I think one of the things in NFL is, of course, you have class action lawsuits in the States and you don't in England or
Yeah,
most other countries. And that allowed the players who'd suffered all the CTE injuries and effects to sue the NFL and get a pretty large settlement as a
and
result.
the
And
rugby's going
foot,
through the same thing at the time as well at the
yeah,
moment as well. Yeah,
and football's had been in denial about it. Obviously, there's concussion protocols now, which are better, stronger, usually implemented, not always, I have to say, in football now. And there's a limit on the amount of heading that can be done for kids who are under a certain age and so on, which is a kind of recognition that it's a problem. But yeah, that and all the other injuries and the length of time he's played and the number of games he's played over so many years has contributed to his decision. He's going to stay at Como as a coach. No idea whether it'll be a good one or not, but clearly starting out on that route
yeah,
while he recovers. But what a career. I mean, just incredible amount of just serial winner with Real Madrid.
yeah.
And obviously being at Madrid helps that, but he was a major contributor to that as well. And then we got a few good years at United and just seems like a all-round classy bloke on the field and off it too.
Yeah, the classy is such the perfect term for him because I feel like throughout his whole time at United, from the beginning, like when he walked onto that pitch and in that suit, just looking like the classiest man who's ever lived, and kind of getting that beautiful reception, that was such a great
Great
moment, such a
moment.
classy
Yeah.
moment. Then throughout his whole time at United, he played with class. exuded class. Like I remember that time as well when we got battered by Liverpool. He was one of the players kind of going to going to the other players, going basically like, go to our fans. Like our fans have travelled here, they're still singing. Like and that's he wasn't captain that day like Bruno was, and Bruno kind of had that meltdown, and Varane was the player who stood up, classy again there. And then even like at the end, like maybe it was a little bit over the top, that kind of farewell video, but again, it was just all classy. And like he loved his time at United. Like you could really tell. And like every time he went down the tunnel, like he was truly into it and stuff. And yeah, I guess some people might have had some qualms over his like commitment to the club, maybe because he didn't play enough. But I think every time he represented United, he was just classy.
Yeah, clearly Real Madrid knew that perhaps he put on quite a lot of miles on the clock. They're quite good at selling. At the time, quite a few people said, "Oh, like good fee, 35 million or whatever it was, 40 million euros, done all right." And I was a little bit suspicious about that because it's been done a few times. So, was it good value paying him 300 grand a week and 35 million for 3 years? Probably not, but he made a contribution. We'll have some great memories. I mean, his final full 90 as a pro was beating Manchester City in the cup final.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Beautiful.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, and it's not his fault that he was on 300 grand. It's not his fault that United paid 40 million for him. I think we all had those concerns when he joined. It was like, yeah, Real Madrid are buying centre-backs a bit like how they were buying centre midfielders when they let go of Casemiro, and United are like, okay, hello, we'll have both of them kind of thing. And yeah, there were always those concerns, but yeah, he was really good for us. Like when he played, he just, again, like I say, just didn't play enough. And you just think what could have been if both Martinez and Varane had been able to stay fit, like they would have been quality together. But I think we knew what we were getting. And well, I think as fans, we knew what we were getting. Maybe the board at the time didn't quite know what they were getting, or they were taking a risk and thinking this guy might be able to elevate us with his leadership and his quality on the field. But yeah, he just wasn't around enough.
Yeah. For the last World Cup, I got myself a front shirt. I don't know. I have one of those habits of stocking my cupboard full of various shirts. It's a very classy shirt. We've used that word. I've used that word a little bit today.
It is so lovely, though.
Fitting. Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously, my loyalties lie with King Harry and 1415 and Agincourt and stuff in the French and all of that kind of stuff. No, I'm kidding. I do like to wind Paul up a little bit about that. But yeah, for Rafa Varane, one of the few French players you can like, I think, and fully get behind. His move to Como was interesting because it just seems such a rando move, because he could have played at a higher level, clearly, but maybe just felt like far fewer games, slower pace of life, get a nice house on the lake, next to George Clooney.
I feel like there are a few places in the world where you kind of imagine him more suited, really. Like you say, place on the lake, like just sunglasses on, the suit on, just chilling
on the boat.
Chilling on the boat or chilling in a nice little restaurant, eating lobster and seafood and stuff. Like he's one of those guys as well. I feel like when you just look at him, it almost makes you smile, because he just seems like a harmless chap as well. Like he just seems like I don't know, I've never met the guy, but he just seems like if you go up to him, he'd just be really nice and kind and lovely and stuff. He just has that aura around him. I guess that's the word that all the kids use these days, aura, isn't it? But he does have that aura, and it's just such a lovely aura. Like
top aura points.
It's a real top aura point. And obviously he's just such a classy player. Like he finished 7th in the Ballon d'Or like one year. Like he was like elite of the elite. Like at his peak, he's at least one of the best centre backs of the 21st century. Maybe of all time, maybe not. But like he was so good at Real Madrid. Obviously part of those amazing teams alongside Ramos mainly when they won the he won 4 of the Champions Leagues, and yeah, it is sad to see someone go went this early, and it's sad that we didn't get the best of him, but we saw glimpses, and I think it was nice. It was nice to have him. I think like most United fans, like cannot be disappointed, I guess, with what we got. It's obviously a little bit annoying or frustrating, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean, I think it worked out all right for United. One of the critiques, I guess, of him, it's only in a modern context, so you get the distribution from the back and the press baiting and stuff. That is that his passing wasn't of the very elite standard, perfectly acceptable. I mean, he wasn't like just lumping it forward or anything like that, but perhaps not as crisp as one has come to expect. But his box defending, to use another modern term, was as outstanding as it gets. Basically, understanding of the game, quality, make right decisions, fantastic in the air.
Yeah, it's just like judgment sometimes, where you see like Maguire would kind of rush into the situation and either clatter the player, or he'd kind of get a bit too close to the defender away and nip it round him. Whereas Varane's judgment every single time, say it was a bounce off a skinny surface or it was a player taking a touch, he would always have that judgment of knowing what to do, where to be, what position to be in, but also that balance as well, that be able to kind of turn in the right position. He felt like he was never off balance. He's like, it was obviously said all the time, but such a Rolls-Royce defender, such a classy defender, and classy in all the terms of just being able to defend in such a uniquely perfect way almost. And I think when you did see Maguire swap in for Varane, then that was kind of so obvious just how different they were. Not to kick Maguire. Maguire's a good defender, but when you just kind of being compared to someone who is, like I say, one of the best defenders of the 21st century, it's just night and day between, and that's why that's the elite of the elite. And I think that what we did see from Varane, like you say, potentially on the ball, not as crisp as, especially someone like Martinez, but he's just defending, his judgment, his balance, his quality, his composure as well. Never looks flustered. Rarely. A couple of times I remember him did looking flustered, but so rarely. Just that all-round package that you want from a defender is just he had it in abundance. Like defensively, like I say, potential. But
we'll see where he goes as a coach. He's, apparently that's what he said in his post. He's going to stay on at Como and to help Cesc Fabregas out with that project. I have to say, I know very little about why Como, why Cesc Fabregas has gone. Is there money behind them? Have they got new owners?
I'm guessing there must be but I think a lot of venture firms equity firms went to Italy, didn't they? Like Venice was another one. They went,
No, it's normally when I follow the money, basically, and how many multi-club ownership groups. But I'm not quite sure of that one. While we're on defenders, what did you make of Chris Smalling's gone to Saudi Arabia from Rome?
That's so
3 years in 3 years in Rome, and apparently did very well there, and has gone to Saudi to close out his career and make a few bob. Yeah, fine. But he posted this. He posted this thing about the line. This line, which is this, will never get fully built.
No,
never.
No.
I mean, it's this idea that it's like hundreds of kilometers of this single building, which is a couple 100 meters wide and whatever, however many stories tall, and it's shiny and reflective and all of the, I'm sure you've seen all the stuff out there, but it was just so, didn't even try to put it in his own words, just copy and paste job.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I just don't understand whose idea this is either. Why Chris? I mean, obviously he's playing in Saudi. He's a Saudi representative. I get all that, obviously, but like, what are you going to gain from it? Like, doesn't make any sense. Just far from everyone laughing at it.
And who's going to read that and go, oh, you know what? I've always,
wow.
Yeah. I'd like to buy an apartment in this thing in the middle of the desert. It'd be
honestly
awesome.
I understand what the Saudis are trying to do, but some of their marketing is just terrible. I saw a video from that went viral on Twitter the other day from an influencer who was living in. Did you see that one?
I did see that one. She's walking around with a pram and going to the dining hall.
It looked like she was in like a penal colony, like, or potentially like on Mars, like she's just wandering around with this, like just unearthly kind of surroundings, and no one's around, and then she's obviously like narrating in such the juxtaposition is just incredible. Now, this is such a lovely place to live. Is it? It doesn't look like it, but yeah, like their marketing is just incredible at times. It's so
well. It seems to be that they're marketing it to Westerners at the moment, or maybe it's both. I don't know, but yeah, I never. I mean, my line of work has known quite a few expats who've lived in Saudi or Qatar or Bahrain or Abu Dhabi, Dubai and stuff, and it never really appealed to me, that kind of compound lifestyle.
Soulless.
Some people
in
it
a lot
does.
of ways.
Yeah, it's just very odd, and you go from your house to the office to the mall, and from one air-conditioned place to another, and it all feels a little bit artificial. And it's not to criticize kind of local culture or anything like that. It's just that very specific expat thing is odd. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. It's those types of places. Like I imagine, like Riyadh, from what people say, like Riyadh is genuinely a really interesting place. I think from what I've read as well, it's quite a liberal place in a lot of respects. Like it's a lot more liberal than people think. I think if you went there on a holiday, it'd actually be quite interesting. And obviously other parts of Saudi Arabia would be super interesting. It's a ridiculously interesting and historical place. It's just, when you try and make it this weird sci-fi thing, like out of a Christopher Nolan film or something, like, and
there you go. That could be a Nolan. Yeah, it could be his next one.
Like it looks, it's literally, it's so dystopian and grim. Like, that just, soulless, horrible. And also like all the villagers that who live in the desert where they
got
where
kicked
that
out
line
or
is being,
imprisoned or disappeared.
It's like, it's grim. It's it's really grim.
Well, Rafa Varane did not go to Saudi. Chris Smalling did, and Phil Jones is now retired and become a pundit, I think. So
high performance podcast he was on the other night, wasn't he?
Great, fantastic stuff. He actually spoke pretty well. I would not recommend going on the high performance podcast generally.
No.
There you go. We'll close it out. Good to talk to you, Tom. Happy retirement, Rafa Varane. You earned it. Bye now.